Hey everyone, it's Rosemary Maris from Maris Art. I thought I'd show you this beautiful picture that I've just finished. It's on a really interesting canvas because the canvas is not straight at the side, it goes in like that. I thought of doing it on the back, like inside, but then because I've got this huge feather on it, I decided to do it this way. So this is from these packets. It's Finnebair's decorative paper. So there's that one, and you can see there's the lady on it. You get several sheets in here. And then the other one is from this one called Butterfly, I think it is. Flutter. There we go. And that's where I got the butterflies from. So what I did first of all on the canvas, I did it with white gesso. And then I used Mod Podge to put all over and then put the tissue on it. Even though it's tissue, it's very, very easy to work with and to get out any lumps with it. I just did it with a credit card and just smoothed them out really carefully. And where there were some sort of creases in it, I dipped my finger in the Mod Podge and just went over it like that. If your finger's got the glue on it, then you don't rip the tissue. That's a little tip for you. So I wanted to make her look really 1920s, and what I did was around the outside here, there's this beautiful antique lace, and then there was this trim, and some of the pearls were missing on these things here. So what I did was I used some flat back pearls and replaced them as much as I could, but it is very delicate. Then these butterflies are cut out of the trim, the paper, the flutter paper, and what I did was I put one size on top of another size, and I've actually done a stenciling on them, to those swirly patterns, the stencils, and then this little fluffy thing here, I don't know whether you can see it, it's got two little little feelers at the front, and then the body of the back in silver, and then this was the back of a flower. All of these are off the flutter paper, and then this is stenciling onto all these swirls, are stenciling onto the tissue. And then when I'd done it, oh, of course there's beautiful antique feathers in her hair, which look very 1920s to me. And then I had this beautiful flower here that I actually got in a sale from somewhere. There was a strip of them. So what I did was I cut some leaves out and put them there, and this it just had leaves on this side, so I put some extra leaves there and some there to balance it out. Then when I'd done her face sort of disappeared with everything else that was around it, so I went over it with ink pads. So I went over her cheeks with ink pads, went over her eyes with a brown one and put the white dots back in her eyes, and then I went all over the hair with a brown one, and then here where she's blonde I went over with honey, and here, but that's actually a crack in the old photo, which I highlighted a little bit because I quite liked it. And then her necklace down here was very yellow, and I didn't like that, so again I went over it with, first of all I went over it with a gold, and then I didn't like that. And so I went over it with the pink, the same as her cheeks, and it's come out quite nicely, a necklace. So that might give you some ideas of how to use those tissue papers. Bye.